G'day to all you footy fans watching this week's Friday Night Footy. I'm Steve-O, and today we're going to be interviewing perhaps one of the greatest AFL players of all time, Mr. Gary Ablett, also known as God. Gazza, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Steve-O.
Okay, Gary, so obviously you're regarded as one of the all-time greats in Australia's beloved sport. You had an outstanding career lasting more than 15 years, and can you take us back to where it all began? When did the love of sport and footy especially all begin?
Well, I was born in Durin, a small town in country town, Victoria. I was born to a very large family, having 7 other siblings, and my parents, Colleen and Alfred. I love sport from a very young age. I was part of a school athletics team, and I won the high jump when I was just 10 years old.
So when did footy come into the picture for you?
AFL rules became a much more prevalent part of my life around year 6, where I was voted for best and fairest for my clubs of under 11s, 12s and 14s. I was very proud of that. I played in multiple representative games along with my brothers in the under 16 seniors, and the Hawthorn Football Club signed me along with my 2 elder brothers, and we were all signed into the reserves team for the club.
So I suppose that's where it all started, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess it was. My career definitely started though when it was in 1983 when the great Geelong Football Club signed me up. They're going pretty well this year as well.
And Geelong's recruiting manager at the time, Bill McMaster, played a huge role in your signing to the club in 1983.
Yeah, Bill convinced me to give footy another go after initially I quit from the Hawks. Geelong, seeing it was a club based in a rural town where I'd come from a rural town as well, I felt confident in going to a club like that.
So you were signed to Geelong from Hawthorn for $60,000. You had an absolutely outstanding career debut season for the Cats, beginning the club at round 7 in 1984 season. Despite the late start, you scored an impressive 33 goals from just 15 games. You then signed another 3-year contract with Geelong.
Yeah, Geelong just felt like the right place for me. I felt like I was happy there since I felt like I thrived absolutely playing footy, the game I love, and it's always going to be part of me, the Geelong Football Club.
So Gary, you had quite a negative reputation for being such a lazy player and quite a negative attitude to your coach, John Bevan. Despite this, you amassed a total of impressive 147 goals across the next 2 years. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think my attitude towards footy was quite immature at the time because I didn't fully realise my potential that I had in the sport.
Yeah, and what a potential it was. I mean, obviously we can't go into every specific of your career, but let's just talk about some of the highlights. Besides your impressive goal-scoring ability, you also managed to pull off some incredible marks, specifically some speckies. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I took quite a few screamers in my time. I think my definite highlight was in 1994 Mother's Day. I was being marked by Gary Pert, wonderful man, a formidable defender for Collingwood. I just remember running under the ball and with all my effort leaping up onto his shoulders. I crashed down onto the soft grass, my legs searing with an extremely bad corky. I thought for sure it was dropped because the ball only touched my hand for a couple of seconds. The doctors rushed around me and I was just hoping my leg would be okay. It was just one of definite highlight from my career, and I remember lining up for the shot after it was called a mark. I was really nervous.
And despite the fact that you actually missed the shot, you received an incredible amount of nominations for Mark of the Century. That must have been a real honour and one of your best highlights, I reckon.
Yeah, it was one of my highlights from my career, although the grand finals were probably my favourite moments.
Yeah, so obviously we can't interview you without asking about your eldest son, Gary Ablett Jr. What a career he's had so far.
Yeah, I can't say I'm not proud of Gary, but I think all my kids have established great careers in the wonderful game AFL.
Obviously your fan base and everyone who follows the AFL have heard some very negative allegations against your reputation. Despite your outstanding career, you have had as many struggles off the field as you have had on it. So what is your response to the allegations against you avoiding paying $180,000 in tax between 2008 and 2010?
Regarding the tax there, well, there was no reasonable explanation for that. Don't really have any comments.
Yeah, and looking at this document here, it says that in 2000, Ablett was investigated, charged and convicted of 4 drug offences as a result of 19-year-old Geelong woman, Alicia Horan, dying of a drug overdose, heroin, ecstasy and amphetamines. While in Ablett's hotel room, After a prolonged period of refusing to answer the police questions, you spoke out to the public. Can you tell us something about that, please?
Yes, that's correct, Steve-O. I received pressure from certain avenues not to give all of the facts. In 2000, I admitted to providing Horan with the heroin and other drugs, which I took with her. I pleaded guilty to all 4 charges, and I was convicted and fined $1,500.
Yeah, that's correct. The quote actually is right here. It's stated on the document. How do you move forward from the darker point in your life?
I think past that point, I refocused my energy to football. I think being re-involved with the sport really helped me with my drug addiction and my depression. I focused my attention to my beloved son Nathan back in 2007.
And despite the struggles you were facing at the time, I think that, it was your dream to end your story by playing AFL.
Oh, definitely.
Well, sorry folks, that's all the time we have for tonight. On behalf of the Channel 10 and the Toyota AFL, I would like to thank Gary Ablett Sr. for joining us and opening up about the greatest AFL career in history. Thanks for watching, folks.
Cheers, I really enjoyed my time on the show. Wish you a good night and good luck to whoever's playing tonight.